Hello. Oh, long time I haven't made any video. So, hello, let's talk about prosperity and the way how we can achieve it. I have no any preparation for this video, but I just have a topic. And by the way, let's talk about the format of these streamings and the idea of why it was born. So the idea is to share some thoughts every day with the audience, the people that think, that care, not scare, but care about something, and would like also to do something with it. And I think that's the world that we are living right now is quite messy, and I probably would like to ask questions more than give you answers, as I don't think I have all the answers. And as for me, it's not very important who asks questions, because we all interconnected. And as far as I learn about the universe, is more understand that everything is so interconnected. So I have 4 topics for today, for this session, and the first one is the foundation of a thriving life. The second is why inner peace is a key to outer abundance. The third is how crisis can become a doorway to transformation. And the fourth is what kind of world we can co-create when we align with truth. And yeah, I should say that English is not my native language. I learned it for a long time, but I should say that I satisfied enough with my English, but it can be better for sure. And I think that for current moment nowadays, English is the most popular language. By the way, do you hear me well? I just make some test. I just mute myself and just try to watch the video on my side. So, or yeah, unfortunately I cannot do it. Yeah, sorry, it's the first time I'm doing live stream, so please don't judge too much. Yes, everything is fine and the sound is pretty good. That's great. I'm happy about it. So let's continue. We have 4 important topics for today, and this is the first of its kind streaming. Yeah, and actually it's very late for me right now. So maybe I can be a bit fuzzy, but I have some important thoughts. So, what is the foundation of a thriving life? What do you think? What is this? Where it coming from? Prosperity, abundance, thriving. What is the core of it? And why should we care about it? I suppose it's everybody, probably. So, do you care about it? Do you want to be prosper, live in abundance, thriving? And why we have so much poverty nowadays, when we have so much possibilities and so much resources, why still somebody can suffer a very poor life, sometimes even have hunger and yeah, and that's ridiculous. How it's even possible? Yeah, somebody can say that there's too much people on the planet, but I don't think this is the main reason. Yeah, we can calculate it, and if we will calculate it, I have done my calculations, and I should say that, yeah, maybe we cannot satisfy all the possible desires, but we definitely can feed all the people on the planet, and we have enough resources for it. What else? Clothes. What actually do we need to be prosper? Let's try to define what is a prosper life. What do we need for prosperity? So, in fact, if we will take our planet, or okay, even if it's not enough, then we have our solar system, and even bigger scale. Yeah, we have so much, everything around us. Yeah, maybe it's too far, but I suppose we are. Yeah, how do you think? What do we need for our prosperity on a very basic level? Just, yeah, I hope that people will. Yeah, probably now we don't have a lot of viewers, but later when people will see this video, let's just write in the comments, what do you think it is prosperity and abundance, and how can we define it? Okay, so why inner peace? Yeah, the second question is, why inner peace is the key to outer abundance? Yeah, in fact, it's a very interesting question. Is why some people can be happy with not so much, and other can be unhappy even if they have so much. Yeah, people can envy. Yeah, so when somebody have not so much, they can envy those that have more, and that make them jealous. Yeah, and just desire something that they probably don't have, and it creates tension. It creates, yeah. So it's the question: what's destruct our inner peace? Yeah, I don't want to bring on the table all the topics at once, but let's try, yeah, to think about, yeah, we have different systems. Yes, capitalism and communism. It's like opposite sides of materialistic ideologies, and quite opposite, but in some way it's also very similar. I don't want to dive too deeply today, but I think that every system has its own advantages and disadvantages. And personally, right now, I think that, yeah, of course, communism is even worse than capitalism, but capitalism can be also very brutal. And still, it's more humane in some way, but I think that both of them are not good enough. What do you think? I lived in I was born in communism, and now I live in capitalism. And yeah, in some way capitalism is more better. Okay, just better. But in the same way, it also creates an environment that's not healthy enough. But still, I prefer capitalism than communism, because communism was brutal and just very bad. There is no perspective. It was built on the bones of millions of people, and it's just very bad. The idea probably was very romantic. Let's do something with the systems. It was too bad, but it made even more terrible things. I don't know. What do you think? How can we? I don't want to say fix it. What can we invent better that can, yeah, remove all these disadvantages and bring something better? Because all these tensions, they create this. I don't want to, to fill this stream with some bad thoughts or words, because I believe that's what creates energy. Everything that we say creating waves, and one of the decisions why I decided to make this video and the next as well, it's because I think we are in the moment when usually I don't want to say anything. I was quite good with everything till the moment when literally my world was destroyed by people that's taken everything from my ancestors, from my grandparents, and now they've taken everything from my parents and from me and from my children. And this is a moment when I just cannot stay quiet. This is a moment when we have to talk. We have to find solutions. Because otherwise, which world will we I don't even want to say give, but which world will stay after us for our children? It seems like we became so, I don't want to say and everything, but are you satisfied with the current state of your mind, of the informational field where we live right now, an emotional field? I don't want to make this conversation on the surface. I believe that you also feel that something wrong, that something going in the direction that's completely not healthy. I'm not ready to give all the answers, but I definitely would like to ask questions and also encourage you to ask questions. How can we let this all happen? Why the world and the state when the peace is so desirable? Have we forgot about all the drama of the 20th century? Have your parents didn't tell you what was happening? Have your grandparents didn't tell you what was happened? how it is possible that still people want to do something like what's happened today. Happening, not happened, happening. You know, we have so many videos where people are talking very fast and a lot without any pauses. We consume all the information, unstoppable. But we do not ask a very, very deep questions. What is happening? Where is our peace, our inner peace? What do we do every day for our inner peace? Okay, how crisis can become a doorway to transformation? Yeah, very interesting question. How do you think? Are we in crisis? Can you show me an example, at least one state where we do not have any crisis? Okay, just write it down. Maybe I don't understand something, but it seems it's everybody are going crazy and mad. But what do we do every day to make this world a better place for us, for our children, for our parents, grandparents? Yeah, the crisis at the moment when we can start think, what is wrong? What did I to make it wrong? Maybe it wasn't intentional sometimes, but when we did something wrong, we can feel it. It doesn't mean that we are bad. Okay, the question. When we did something wrong, will it automatically make us bad? What do we need to fix it? Okay, we did something bad. Does it define automatically that we are bad? When we were born, we didn't know anything, and we start to learn from the very beginning. Okay, what is, yeah, but first we even didn't do anything. It seems like when when the baby is so small and it cannot even feed itself, just can observe, okay, what is happening, where am I, what can I do, okay, I can blink my eyes, whatever. And yeah, in some moment probably we can do something bad, but we don't even know that it's bad. Maybe we can feel it. And again, how can we feel it? So crisis is something that's happening and we can feel that something has gone wrong and we can make something with it and maybe become better. But what do we need to have to make it possible? Maybe it's courage to consider that something wrong, that we need to do something with it, or at least to recognize that something was wrong. And then it can create a space where it can become better and make something better. Okay, what kind of world we can co-create when we align with truth? And please, when I make some, I don't want to make statements. It's sometimes people say I'm too, I don't know how to say it in English, but it doesn't matter. Just I don't want to teach something. I'm not a teacher, but yeah, maybe my grandmother was a teacher and grandmother was a teacher, and maybe somebody else were teachers as well. Yeah, my mother was also a teacher as well, but I don't want to teach anybody, but I would like to teach, to learn together with you, and yes, to make something for this world to become better, and to share some knowledge that can help us to make this world better. And finally, reach the new state, the state of prosperity. And I believe that in some way we are very, very close, as the crisis is also an indicator. So yeah, again, so what do you think the crisis is? Well, oh, yeah, for sure there should be some preconditions for the crisis, and also there definitely will be some result, some transformation. But of course it could go in different directions. Nobody knows how crisis will end. Yeah, we can make some predictions, but what is the problem with society is, and not only with society, just with the it's a problem of all universe. Yeah, nobody knows what will be with the universe, and society is a part of the universe. It's all the time in dynamics. So we can predict something, but our prediction doesn't mean that it will be like that. That's why I like Isaac Asimov and his his foundation is, you can predict something, but you cannot make it completely. It isn't an experiment. It's life. It's unpredictable. Everything is possible. So I suppose it's more about, it's the quantum state. Yeah, we all so we all in some state that's interconnected, and I believe that's when we just will go in some direction together, that's the new realities that we can create. And I definitely would like that this reality will be prosper, abundant, peaceful, with a healthy people, not necessarily everybody to be rich, but we should be just prosper. And in the world where prosperity is a normal state, we don't have to fight each other because it's just irrelevant. What do you think about it? So which world do we want to create? Yeah, English is not my native language, but I learned it with pleasure because I would like to communicate with other people, and I would like to learn other languages as well to communicate with even more people if they don't speak English, for example. Yes, in some way English became historically, that's bring us to the world where the majority of people probably speak English. And but I will learn with pleasure some other languages when I will have enough time for it. Now I learn more languages as well, and that's okay. I like to learn language. What I don't like is that every day is another challenge. Mentally, first of all, emotionally, it's definitely not a healthy world when you are bombarded with all this information from everywhere, and you need to have a very, very patient and healthy mind to process everything. Yeah, we can discuss it. Yeah, what kind of challenges do you have? It's very interesting to learn about the challenges that people are experiencing right now. May I consider our talks as a group meditation, and I suppose it's the idea is to create an environment, first of all, with our thoughts, with our words, with our actions, that will create a healthy reality, peaceful, healthy, lovely, yeah, filled with love, with care, with care. Yeah, sorry for my pronunciation. With friendship, prosper, abundance. Okay, if you want to be rich, but I think that's on some level too much money bring too much responsibility for things. It's probably not okay. Just let's try to draw this picture. When let's just imagine when you have everything, so we are prosper enough to have everything. Why somebody want to be very rich? For what? For power? For to be a celebrity? So I don't remember this word. Fame, yeah. Or okay, what can be power, fame, greed, just because somebody is greed. So I don't think it's to be very rich is a healthy habit. Yeah, it it's okay to be. So it just give what possibilities, yeah. Possibilities from what? Then okay. So what world do we want to co-create or create or co-create? Write it down in the comments. Yes, probably my style is very different from what you used to see in YouTube, but I don't want to pretend. I just, who am I and what am I? That's how the nature created me, and I think that we should let ourselves to be ourselves. And this diversity is amazing. This is the truth of life. Yeah, that's how we were created from the very beginning. And somehow we have all this diversity and many cultures and languages and even religions and everything. Yeah, we can sometimes we can argue what is better, but I believe, and this is my experience, probably you have another and you can share together with us. When you when people worked enough on themselves, they cannot. When you love something, it doesn't mean that you should hate something. Especially for me, as I'm from Ukraine, and what we're experiencing now, and what we have experienced 50 years ago, or 70, 80, and 100 years ago, and before, and before, and before. I don't know which country has suffered so much, and people. Just imagine every 50 years there's another war that just destroy everything. Lives. No, I don't want to even say something else, because houses and businesses and life is what really matter. That's my thoughts. But what do you think? What is the most important in life, in our life, in your life, in somebody's life? Of course, life is the answer of this question. What do you think can be else? Okay, what else matters when life is gone? Money, power, what else? Fame. And it's happening not only in Ukraine, of course. Israel, Iran, so Syria was before, Gaza, whatever, you name it. So what kind of world do we want to create and co-create? What really matters? Or what we want to make matter? If you, I don't want to say these typical phrases, but yeah, probably if you like it, you can like it. You can share it. We can ask questions together. We can find answers together. We can have discussions. Deep, meaningful conversations without any specific format or agenda or whatever. Yeah, it's nice to have a plan, but sometimes you can have many plans and nothing will work because the universe is more complex. You can build any plans, strategies, even cultures, even civilizations. Do you think? Okay, I don't want to scare anybody, but how can we save our civilization? What do you think? What do you think? What do you feel? Let's be honest with ourselves, with our loved ones, with our kids, with our parents, with our friends, with our neighbors, with our colleagues. Peace. See you next time.